Hi, welcome to CMMC Automation. On this channel, we share with you tips on how to automate your CMMC compliance efforts using ChatGPT to save your company considerable time and resources. My name is Derek Phillips. I am the president and founder of Aspire Cyber. We specialize in helping small defense contractors prepare for their CMMC assessments. Also, I am a certified CMMC assessor and instructor. Let's get to the content.
In this video, I'm going to show you how to use ChatGPT to automate your CMMC compliance activities for AC.L2-3.1.13 for remote access confidentiality. So this practice is going to focus on making sure that you encrypt your remote sessions so that you're employing FIPS 140-2 validated encryption for any remote access to your in-scope systems. So for those systems that process, store, or transmit that controlled unclassified information, CUI. We go to the CMMC Level 2 Assessment Guide. So we see that it employ cryptographic mechanisms to protect the confidentiality of remote access sessions. So we have two assessment objectives, making sure we're identifying the cryptographic mechanism we're using, and then also that we're implementing those mechanisms. Then if we go down to the discussion section, we see that those cryptographic standards is going to be FIPS validated cryptography and NSA approved. They must be tested and validated to meet FIPS 140-1 or 2 requirements. So simply using an approved algorithm is not sufficient. The module used must be validated. This is very important. We're going to use ChatGPT, specifically GPT-4, to show us how to satisfy this practice and assessment objective. Always start by priming ChatGPT, giving ChatGPT the guidance that, hey, I'm going to be giving you practices and assessment objectives from this SB 871. I want you to provide me administrative and technical solutions, and also recommend evidence that I can present to external CMMC assessor to satisfy each assessment objective. And I don't need a response for this prompt. So I just like to make sure I give ChatGPT the context and also the expectations on the format that I'm looking for in terms of the responses. And ChatGPT always, as always, hey, understands and is ready to get to work. So employ cryptographic mechanisms to protect the confidentiality of remote access sessions. So this is the practice for 3.1.13. Based on the context and specific guidance and specific instructions I gave ChatGPT, now it's going to provide a response in that format that I specifically requested. Here's going to give me some identification and cryptographic mechanisms, SSH, HTTPS, SSL, TLS. There's just some examples of cryptographic mechanisms for remote access. Use, for example, a screenshot of a browser showing HTTPS connection to your web server, or VPN configuration showing the use of IPsec. We need a policy on remote access, have clear policy requiring the use of cryptographic mechanisms. So I took this verbiage directly from the CMMC Level 2 Assessment Guide and discussion section, where it gives us a specification that, hey, FIPS 140-1 or 2 are required. So as we know with ChatGPT, the training ended in 2021 for this module, for this large language module. So there may be cases where you can feed that updated information to ChatGPT, then ChatGPT will factor in the information you provided in its guidance moving forward. Okay, so now that I've given ChatGPT that information, it says absolutely, and then also tells me where I can go to search for cryptographic modules that have been validated. So it's saying I should look at the NIST CMVP. This will provide a list of validated cryptographic modules. And giving me suggested evidence. So I need to be able to show that the solution I'm using for remote access is FIPS validated. I can have screenshots, can have a copy of policy. So let's look at the CMVP that ChatGPT said we should check. And you see, if we go here to the Cryptographic Module Validation Program by NIST, has an option to search the validated modules. Should be able to look for the encryption number or the vendor module name. So let's see. In 3.1.12, ChatGPT gave us a recommendation for using Aruba ClearPass. So let's see. Let's just type in Aruba ClearPass and see if it is FIPS validated. So we're going to search, see if I can find it just by the. So ClearPass is not showing anything. Let's say if I just search Aruba. Not showing anything, and it's possible that I would need the full information. So I would need the certificate number, vendor, and module name. If you're evaluating solutions to encrypt the CUI, then you want to make sure that that solution is FIPS validated. So this is where you would come and you should be able to gather this information. The vendor should provide you if they're claiming that they're FIPS validated, they should be able to provide you a certificate. So you're going to have a certificate number, vendor name, module name, and you'll be able to put that into the search and just confirm. And here we got additional information if you want to do an advanced search to confirm that that module is validated. This is extremely important because doing that CMMC level 2 assessment, if your cryptographic module that's encrypting that CUI is not FIPS validated, then that would be a deficiency. All right, now let's add the assessment objective. First one, so we want to make sure the cryptographic mechanism to protect the confidentiality of remote access sessions are identified. Make sure we're using TLS or IPsec or SSH for our remote access. So we document it in our remote access policy for technical implementation. Could be a VPN configuration showing that, hey, we're required to use those secure protocols. We have vendor documentation. I talked about making sure that that vendor is providing you for the cryptographic module. They provide you a certificate proving that, hey, yes, their module is FIPS 140-2 validated. Training records showing that we provide user training. All right, so the second assessment objective, we want to make sure that the cryptographic mechanisms to protect the confidentiality of remote access sessions are implemented. So the first one, we're make sure they're identified. Now we need to make sure we're implementing them. That's going to be that key step. You need to configure the remote access services. Implement VPN with secure protocols. Configure SSH for remote access. Configure RDP securely. We're going to be very cautious about using remote desktop because that is oftentimes a way in for malicious actors. But if you are using it, want to make sure it's secure. Then use FIPS validated modules. Prove to the assessor, we're going to need screenshots of remote access software settings showing these cryptographic mechanisms are in place. We're going to have our user activity logs, configuration, and technical documentation. Next, I'm going to prompt ChatGPT, what are VPN solutions that are FIPS 140-2 validated? So ChatGPT saying there's several on the market. We have Cisco AnyConnect, Post Secure Connect, Checkpoint VPN, Fortinet, FortiGate, Juniper. So ChatGPT is giving you a list, and this could be a starting point. If you're evaluating solutions, now you have this list, and obviously you would go to the vendors, contact the vendor directly, and just confirm that their cryptographic modules are validated, and they can provide you that certificate because you're going to need to have that certificate to present to the assessor during your CMMC level 2 assessment. ChatGPT reminds us that it's important that not only is it FIPS 140-2 validated, but also correctly configured. Because if you don't have the proper configuration, then it's not working properly as intended. That can be a deficiency as well. So we'll close this video out with our project plan. So in chart format, consolidate the guidance you're giving me for 3.1.13 into a project plan. Include those administrative controls and names of specific technical solutions. Remember, even though ChatGPT is automating these process for us, you still have to implement the guidance that ChatGPT is giving you. So I always want to end with a project plan to ensure you have actionable guidance. deploying those cryptographic mechanisms, reviewing and updating our policy, make sure we're implementing FIPS 140-2 validated VPN, have a list of recommendations, evidence for assessor, implementation priority high. So we have in chart format, consolidate all of the guidance you provided 3.1-13 into a project plan, including administrative controls and names of specific technical solutions. We have employ cryptographic mechanisms. I want to make sure we review and update our security policy, implement FIPS 140-2 VPN, give a list of suggested solutions, technical solutions. Make sure we have our policy documents, configuration, and our certificate for that validation. This is a high priority for implementation. So I hope that you got value from this video. Really the key for this one is making sure that whatever cryptographic solution that you're using for your remote access, you want to make sure that it's FIPS 140-2 validated and that you can get the evidence in terms of that certificate from your vendor. That's going to be a key artifact that you're going to need during your assessment. So I invite you to leave comments. Let me know how I can improve these videos for you, give you more value. And then also if you would like to see me make any special requests in terms of videos, I'll be happy to do so. You can reach me at dphillips@aspirecyber.com. I'm always happy to answer your questions and talk about CMMC. Next time I'll be back with 3.1.14.
Thanks for watching CMMC Automation. I hope that you got a lot of value from today's video and you use ChatGPT to automate your CMMC efforts. It's going to save your company a lot of time and money. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to me at Aspire Cyber. Also, you can leave your questions in the comments down below. Be sure to subscribe because it helps out this channel immensely. I really appreciate it, and good luck to you on your CMMC journey.